Hello, everybody. This is Pamela Renee, keeping live entertainment live here in Philadelphia, the Delaware Valley. I'm at the home of Eddie Holman III. We are having a good time. This is 4th of July, and we got Eddie talking about his new CD that just come out, and he wants you to buy this CD. But let me ask Eddie a few things, Eddie. Now, how long you been doing the CD?
I started working on it in actually 2011, but it's been taking a long time because I've been through a lot of health issues in the process of making the CD. I dealt with 2 leg amputations, and kidney failure, and heart attack, and every time I would make progress, something crazy would happen. So finally it's here.
Now, finally is here, and the CD is a beautiful, beautiful song. What is the name of that CD, Eddie?
The name of the CD, the single, is called One and Only Lover, and it features Carol Riddick, and it's co-written by myself and Rochelle Helms. And the name of the CD is going to be called Phantom Pain, and hopefully this fall when it's released. But this is a single from the Phantom Pain CD called One and Only Lover.
All right, so how many songs are you going to have on Phantom Pain? That's a whole CD album.
Yes, I'm going to have between 11 and 13 tracks on that album.
Now, Eddie was at our Black Music Month celebration, and he had a CD released on that day. We gave a tribute to Dexter Wanzel and also to the Sweeties, Patty Bell Sweeties, and Eddie was there, and he actually gave the award for Carter Benson. Did you have a great time, Eddie?
I had a ball because everybody that you presented awards to, I grew up listening to. And when I was a young kid, I had a crush on Carla Benson. I'm telling my wife.
I'm going to tell Carla. I should have told Carla.
I did tell Carla.
Oh, Carla knew. I'm sorry that Carla had to leave. She was sick, but she did leave a message about receiving her award, and she was really excited, and she said thank you to everybody, and I'm more grateful because I became friends with Eddie a couple of years ago, and I met him through circumstances, and we've been buddies and cousins. I think he's my cousin. we're cousins, and I think you think we're cousins.
Yeah.
His last name is Holman. My grandmother's maiden name is Holman.
You got that Holman nose.
We got nose alike. Did you know that? Now, you know what I like about Eddie, through his tragic things that he's been through, he still is spontaneous, he still is determined, and to finish his album, the enthusiastic of being, what he's going through, he's a what you call it, a double, W amputee, and,
bionic legs are faster, stronger. Steve Austin, bionic man.
He moved faster than me. And he's down the steps, I'm still coming. So, that means that, God is with you and he's giving you the strength.
Most definitely.
And this CD, you have to buy the CD. I keep singing it. I don't know if you can hear it in the back, it's playing in the background. But that is a beautiful CD.
This is the second track off the maxi single called Music to Me, which features Lena Alyssis the Poet. And this is real happening. A lot of people are starting to download this on the digital platform.
Well, we need to get this played live on the radio. We're going to start playing it on the Doris Hall James show pretty soon. So we're going to get it out that way. And like you said, on iTunes and...
So on iTunes, Google Play, Amazon Play, and Tidal. And when I do the reorder, it'll be available at cdbaby.com.
Now we need to get Carol Riddick to do this song.
Yeah.
Because from what I understand, in order for a song to get out, it needs to be performed live. Once we get it performed live,
and we're working on doing that. she's been rehearsing for plays and different shows that she's been doing. So, she's been very busy, but, we want to work towards making that happen.
Let's make it happen.
When I spoke to her months ago and told her that was going to come out, she said that she would definitely perform it. So that's going to happen.
This song is awesome. And I thank God for you. I thank God for being your friend.
I thank God for you and my big sister Val, because through all my adversities, you ladies have had my back. And very few people, when you lose everything and you can't do what you normally could do, they kind of walk away. They get scared.
Right.
But you ladies have always, been on the battleground with a brother. I really, appreciate that.
Well, I think Eddie is tough. He's a tough bird.
Yeah, I'm tough.
No, you mean y'all. We're talking about you.
I'm just a tender old young buck.
Well, how old were you when you first started, playing music and get into promoting and all
I
that?
started when I was about maybe, I always loved music, and about 5, but I didn't start. I've always wanted to play drums, but I didn't get a drum set until I was 11. And by the time I was, say, 13, I started playing professionally. You had mentioned Miss Doris Hall. When I was 13, my first steady gig was in Cheltenham, Philly, a place called Cafe the Elegance. And I used to open up for Fat Larry's band and the Delphonics. And then on Sundays, I would hang out there because Steve Green had a jam session. And I started coming to Steve Green's jam sessions. And then when I was getting ready to leave middle school to go to high school, I put together a band. And actually, the band was already together. I was a part of Tony Williams' Stenton Teenage Jazz Band / Mount Airy Cultural Center situation. I met some guys there, Carl Smith, Cordell Brown, and Ray Green. And Leon Jordan was their drummer. And Leon Jordan quit and went with another band. So they saw me in the camp play, and they liked me. So we became a band. We became Quality Connection. And then I went to the Cafe the Elegance, and I was bold. I said, look, I got a band. And I had to hype the band. I said, we just as good as Pieces of a Dream. I said, yeah. I said, I'm serious. So he said, I'm going to give y'all an audition. If you pass the audition, you get the gig. So I told the guys, I said, look, I got us an audition at the Cafe the Elegance. They was like, stop lying. I said, I'm serious. So we went in the audition. Not only did we pass the audition and got the gig, but we got paid for the audition. We made $50 a piece.
Right.
And back in like 1980,
now tell me,
13-year-old.
name some of the groups that you have played for, the professional groups.
Professionally, I've worked with the 3 Degrees, Delphonics, Harold Melvin, the Blue Notes, and my father, Eddie Holman, Gene Chandler, Louise Williams. Who else? And I did a lot of recording. And that's something that almost made me quit music, because I had an all-black heavy metal rock band called When Worlds Collide. And we were the buzz at every record label in New York. And we almost got signed to Sony, but I'm not going to mention the person's name that was head of Sony when he was making the final decision. His answer was, we don't need another nigger talking rock band.
Wow.
So that kind of broke my spirit. And there was a buzz amongst all of the producers that were making rock records in New York and in Los Angeles. And there's a couple of guys like myself, Doug Grisby, people like Mike Tyler, that these producers would pay us to do all these recordings for these white rock glam bands. See, the guys had the look that could sell the records to the teenagers, but they couldn't play. So they would use black musicians like myself to play on all these records. And you had to kind of sign a confidential agreement. So, you can't really talk about what you played on. And half of the stuff I don't even remember I played on. But you did it because you needed to make money. And that's how I paid my rent.
Mm-hmm. So, you know what? We need to do a documentary on this gentleman, right? I mean, I think it would be wonderful to hear more of the story.
When we were around and were performing, like we would play like a lot of New York and North Jersey venues like Stone Pony, where the boss, Bruce Springsteen, he started out in Stone Pony. We would play Maxwell's in North Jersey. We were playing CBGB's, and I mean standing room only. And we, when I look back out at it now, when that situation didn't work, I became bitter. I gave up music and I got married and I started raising a family. And now that my sons have grown and I have grandchildren, I'm ready to pursue what I always wanted to pursue. Once I got married, I didn't want to be an absentee father. I wanted to make sure that my sons were raised properly. And now that they're fine grown men, fine young men, I want to do what I always wanted to do. And I used to teach a lot, and a lot of my students have gone on to become famous drummers and get endorsements and things. So now that's what I wanted, because back when I was doing all those recording sessions for the rock and roll era, I never got credit or recognized for it. So I'm ready to get mine. I'm not trying to come off arrogant or anything, but I paid a whole lot of dues, and I've endured more things than most people will ever endure in 3 lifetimes.
Well, that's why we do what we do.
So,
we interview and, all right, you talk good enough. Take a break.
I'm sorry. I'm long-winded. I'm sorry.
No, we do interviews. We call it like for the unsung. And I give awards to the unsung. Those that, they overlook. And I know that we put money into it. We grow up, we buy records. We the fans. We buy records and we look forward to see it. We don't know who's in the background. You know what I mean? I don't know that you were on Harold Melvin's and all those records.
No, I didn't play on those records.
No, I'm just saying.
That's the great Earl Young.
Okay, but the people that you dealt with, we don't know anything about that. So this is why I think we interview, and we need to educate our children on who people are, where they come from, the type of music. Actually, they're stealing a lot of the music from back in the day and bringing it up to date. So they need to know about their music. And somebody at the Clef Club told me I sang Summertime, and I changed it all around. And I can't think of the man's name. He said, "You are beautiful, but I need you to know what you're singing about and who wrote the song."
Was it Mr. Gardner or was it Lovett?
I don't know. I can't remember. But he was an older man. He passed away. And
that was Don Gardner.
Oh, Don. Okay. He said, "You need to know what you're singing about and who wrote the song." And I was like, well, what I need to know from the song. I like the song. But seriously, we need to know who wrote the song. And we know, even the producer, we need to know about the song. So we need to know about the person. More so like we need to know about you. You know, you wrote a beautiful song, produced and the song that you have out now. And we need to get that song out there because it sounds like a hit. It really does. You know, and we won't know until we get it out there.
Right.
Okay?
The public has to hear you before they decide whether they.
But they need to know that it's Eddie Holman's song. You understand? I mean, Carol Riddick may have sang it. You know, she can sing it. Pamela Renee can sing it. But, you know, I sing Retha songs. But they know that's Retha's song. You know what I mean? So we just want to get Eddie Holman out there and know a little bit more about him. You know, like I said, he's been through a lot of difficulties, but those things which make you great.
You know what's strange? When I was recording One and Only Lover, I had just gotten home from the hospital the night before, and I had got admitted for double pneumonia and congestive heart failure. And when I cut the drums with a home nurse in the background, and I had 4 liters of oxygen because I couldn't breathe. And the reason why I went through with the session because the guitar player Randy Boland and my keyboard player Damon Bennett, they had to go to South Africa with Chimp. And the only way I could do the session was the next day, and they wouldn't be back for 6 months. So I had to take my oxygen, rest for a minute, and cut. And we cut that song in one take without a click track. Wow. And it came out like a masterpiece. So, you know, thank you, Randy Boland. Thank you, Terry Tyler. Thank you, Carl Cox. Thank you, Damon Bennett. And thank you, Carol Riddick. And thank you, Roxy, for writing such great lyrics for the verse.
Is he practicing his Grammy?
No. I just like to give credit with credit.
It sound like, you know, and see, you know what? Sometimes we could be saying things before they happen. You know, you're thinking this could be a Grammy Award winning.
Well, it would be nice.
It would be nice.
You know,
and I like to be there.
I have grandkids to put through college. Please buy my record. I need college tuition for them kids.
All right, y'all here. This is Eddie Holman III. We're at his house. Thank you, Valerie Steele, who is doing the taping for us tonight. And we're having a good time here on the 4th of July, right here in Delaware, Smyrna, Delaware. And I'm glad to be a part of this. So we'll see you next time. Eddie will be back. And thank you. And go out and buy that record. What's the name of that record again?
One and Only Lover.
One and Only Lover.
You can go look up Eddie Holman III, One and Only Lover, and you can go to Amazon, you can go to Google Play, you can go to Tidal, and you can go to, all those digital platforms. You can go through and download the CD, and it's 2 tracks. It's only 99 cents a track. 99 cents. We get 99 million people to buy that for 99 cents. We have $99 million. Right? Well, we got to go now. Yes,
okay?
Ma'am. All right.
Tell everybody you'll see them later.
How my big sister say? Ciao.
Pamela Renee, keep it live, entertainment live in Philadelphia and the Delaware Valley. See ya.
It's a wrap.